Hey guys, it's Brian, and today on Firebird Friday, we're working on the Firebird. We got our list to take care of today, and on that list, we're going to make sure we get rid of anything in the fuel lines. We're going to make sure the differential in the back is ready to go, and make sure our transmission is up to par as well. So let's get to this list. Hold on. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but we live in Arizona. And every week on Saturday nights, I usually make hot salsa and whatnot, fresh, all fresh ingredients. And man, this last batch of jalapenos we had that I put in that salsa, wow, still getting me. So I just had some before we did this intro. But anyways, let's get back to the list and see what's going on. So we're going to get to the power steering, and we're going to get to the carburetor stuff later on in another video, plus wrapping up the brake system. We had to order some parts in order to finish up the brake systems. But on the rest of it, we can get done, I think, on this video that we can take care of. And I want to take a moment and just say thank you guys. You guys have just been amazing watching these Firebird videos. We've doubled our viewers, our subscribers, in 4 months. We're at 2,000 plus subscribers. The last Firebird video is at over 20,000 views. You guys, thank you. The family thanks you. This project is amazing. I had a few people reach out to me and say you should sell t-shirts in order to help raise money to buy parts for the Firebird. So I want to now put on the screen, we have 3 new things out. We have a short sleeve shirt, we have a long sleeve shirt, and a hoodie that has the new Firebird logo that I kind of came up with. And I've also had a few people reach out and want to design shirts for me. So in the next couple months, we're going to have a bunch of different designs. But by buying a shirt, you guys are helping the channel, help us get parts, help us keep this project going. So thank you so much. And we also have a Patreon, which I'll talk about more later. But thanks so much. Let's get back to working on the 67 Firebird and getting this list going so we can drive this car for the first time, hopefully, by the end of the year. Let's go. Okay guys, this is a cool item I picked up on Amazon. I'll put a link down below. But it's basically a camera with a light that you then connect to your cell phone so you can like push it down things. So we're going to put this camera inside the 67 Firebird's gas tank to see if it's clean or not. So let me just get it set up here. You can see I got the phone right there on the car. And then we're just going to slide it in there and see what we can find. This thing is way cool. It has a light on it, so it can light up things. It's probably like 10 feet long. I've used it everything from looking at cylinders moving in a Porsche Boxster that I had last year. That's also on this channel. But it's really cool and it's cheap. It's like 15 bucks or something for this camera. So let's go in and let's take a look at what the gas tank looks like on the 67 Firebird. For the most part, it looks pretty clean. It looks silver. It looks shiny. I was expecting just, varnish and brown and golden gunk everywhere. But as I moved the camera in and moved it around and tried to explore what I could, it looks all pretty decent down there. So again, I don't know whether or not my brother had replaced the fuel tank at some point in time, and when he first initially started it, and then life happened and something, and he never got back to the car. With him being passed, I don't have all the information. So from my view, from this camera, using the device, I think we're good to go in there. I think we're clean. There's no smells of bad gas or anything. So I think we checked the tank off as a problem area, and let's move on to those fuel lines. Alright, so here, underneath the tank itself, the 67 Firebirds, I believe the AC cars and the big 400s had a return line on the fuel tank. So it did have it, but obviously at some point in time, someone capped it off or vented it off to where it doesn't work and just put a bolt into the tube there to where it doesn't hook back up to those lines. The other line is obviously hooked up, but look at the rubber on this hose. Yeah, I'm thinking we need to get rid of that. So I went ahead and removed that first line. This is the main 3/8 line, the fuel feed not the return line. The other one, the smaller one that we're going to leave alone, it's up front and it's actually been pinched off over by the AC, so we're fine. Here's a look at 50-year-old rubber. Who knows? But yeah, that's history. It's out. Alright, next thing I want to do is I want to hook up a tube, a hose, to the inlet of the hard line that runs up to the front of the motor. And what we're going to do is we're just going to shoot some air through the line, clear the line out, and then we're going to clean it out several times with some carburetor cleaner just to see what we could do. And here's my world famous pickle jar that I like to use, and we get pickles all the time, so I have tons of empty jars. So with that in, let's head to the front of the car and let's blow out this line real quick here. So hooked up the air compressor, and I'm going to go ahead and just pull it off from the pump and shoot it straight back. And this was just straight air, just to kind of clean out what we could. I had it cranked up all the way to 150 psi on my system. Then we're going to add some carb cleaner, and we did this several times just to make sure it would be cleaned out. Just sprayed it and filled it up with a decent amount of carb cleaner. Get it in there nice, a little more, good. Then we hook up the air hose again and we blow it out. This time, wow, check this out. Whoa! That's some pressure there. But it cleaned out our fuel lines. Not a problem after that. Pretty happy, pretty confident that all the fuel lines are good. So next was to replace that short little hose underneath the gas tank here. So I'll get in there and get that positioned from the fuel tank line to the new hard line. Good to go. And we are set. I think we can start to scratch off our list of things on the fuel system. I think we're pretty much golden. I am going to switch out the fuel filter that is up by the carb, and I'm going to put in an actual fuel pressure gauge so we can kind of keep an eye on what our pressure is for when we go down the road. All right, there it is. It is on. It's connected, secured. So let's go back to our list and see where we're at. All right, so looking over our list, yep, got to rebuild the carburetor, got to take out the power steering, yep, all right, hook up fuel lines, clean them out, check, we got that done. Oh, what's next? Let's do the rear diff. Let's check out that rear diff. Let's get in there and let's find out what's going on. So in the Pontiac Firebirds, the drain plug, or the fill plug I should say, is on the side on the passenger, and you just take a 3/8" ratchet and it will stick the head of it in there and it will actually unscrew it. Now this had 25, 30, 40, 50 years worth of grime and dirt from Oklahoma all over the pumpkin. So I just took a few minutes to clean it off, see if I can get it in there. And the one thing you want to do before you pull the cover is make sure you can get the fill plug out. So don't do anything until you can get this done first. So I took a pick and I went in and just made sure I can clean it. And honestly, guys, I've done this in Porsches where if that hole isn't 100% clean and you stick the ratchet in there to try to get it and it's not seated fully implanted, you can actually screw up the opening, and then you're left taking a chisel and trying to chisel out that plug. So take a minute, grab a beer, take a pick, get underneath there, spend some time, and get it cleaned out. So with that cleaned out, let's get our 3/8" ratchet in there, and let's get this off. Go ahead and wish me luck. Oh yeah, it broke free. Good. No stress, no drama. I think we're good to go on that. So now that I got that cracked off, I can just reach up there and start to unscrew that fill plug. Let me get it out here. And I'll take a moment and I'll clean it off before I reinstall it. But my main goal is to make sure there's fluid in there. So stick your finger in, and if you just kind of dip your finger down a little bit, you should be touching fluid. And sure enough, there is a gear oil in there. It is sticky and smelly, but it is full and it looks good for what we're doing. So I just cleaned off the fill plug. I'm going to screw it back in there and tighten it up, and we're going to check this off on our list. Eventually, we probably will pull that pumpkin cover and drain the fluid and refill it, of course, but we'll do that after we start to the full restoration of the Firebird here. So let's just get this tight, and we'll move on to what's next on our list. All right. Let's see here. Yes, yes, yes. We still have to go to those things. They're just like beaming at me, like do them. But I have to wait for parts, and I hate it. All right, so let's check off the rear differential check. We're good there. Let's check on the transmission. Let's see what we can do with that. So I understand to check an automatic transmission fluid, and this is a TH350 in the car, you need to have the motor on and running at operating temperature, but we can't do that. So we're just going to pull the dipstick really quick here and take a look at the fluid, see how much is in there, see how clean it is, and that's about all we can really do for now. By inspecting it and rubbing my hands in it and checking the fluid level, it looks like we're good to go. There's plenty of fluid in the transmission for our first test drive. So back to the list, and again, I know that gotta wait for parts, and I hate waiting for parts. So let's go ahead and let's cross off. Oh, now seat sliders. I still need seat sliders, guys. If you have one for sale, please let me know. Hit me up. So, all right. So we checked the transmission. We got that done. We fixed the brake lines or the fuel lines. We got this part done now. All right. Cool. Well, little by little, and we have a few more videos to go by the end of the year, but I'm really confident we can get the 67 Firebird driving by the end of the year. Dang, that salsa's still hot. Alright, so we were able to make sure that the rear differential had fluid in it. Really important to make sure you clean out that 3/8 drive socket to get in there to get that out. Cleaned it up, make sure there was fluid in it. Made sure the transmission the best we could without getting it warmed up like you're supposed to, but there's at least fluid in there and it looks pretty good. So for now, for a couple of times around the block, it'll suffice. Blowing out the fuel lines and making sure the gas tank was clean, another big bonus. So I think we're good with all those three things. Rebuild kit for the carburetor should be here tomorrow. We should have the power steering gearbox arriving probably in the next few days. We'll get the video on that. And then the parts for the brakes will be here as well, and we'll get the brakes done. So 3 more things to do by the end. I think we can get it all done by the end of the year. And speaking of end of the year, Merry Christmas, guys, to you. The support that you guys have shown the channel and myself and the family with the 67 Firebird project has been amazing. Thank you so much. Again, we've doubled our subscribers to 2,000 in 4 months since picking up the Firebird, and I had my first video top 20,000, and we did it like in a few weeks. So awesome, thank you. I'm gonna have links down below for the t-shirts and the hoodie and our new Patreon account, and there's a bunch of different levels, and you gotta get a free t-shirt and you get free stuff if you become a Patreon member, and it's just a way for you guys to help support the channel, support the build for the family. So with that, guys, Merry Christmas to you guys, and I will see you next Friday with another video on Firebird Fridays. Thanks so much.